This is the sound of a 24-hour ceasefire in Sudan being shattered, just minutes after it came into effect. The truce, agreed by the country's warring generals under US pressure, was intended to provide some respite to civilians now living under the shadow of warplanes. Instead, shortly after it was due to take hold at 6 p.m. local time on Tuesday, tank fire and loud shooting could be heard in Khartoum. Several witnesses reported a large ground army entering the capital from the east.
We have not had any confirmation or indication that this is holding.
At a briefing shortly after the deadline, UN spokesperson Stefan Dujarric described fighting in Khartoum with jets, heavy artillery and small arms.
It is creating a climate that is extremely dangerous for civilians and by definition for our staff, humanitarian staff, diplomatic staff, and that's why we continue to engage with the parties in order to try to get a solid cessation of hostilities.
On Tuesday, the UN's aid chief said they were receiving reports of attacks and sexual violence against aid workers. The World Food Programme suspended operations after 3 of its employees were killed. The violence erupted on Saturday out of a power struggle between Sudan's military leader and his deputy. General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan heads a ruling council installed after a 2021 military coup and the 2019 ouster of longtime autocratic leader Omar al-Bashir. General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, better known as Hemeti, is his number 2 and also leads the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. Both sides, the army and the RSF, issued statements accusing each other of failing to respect the ceasefire. The fighting has derailed a transition to civilian rule and triggered what the UN described as a humanitarian catastrophe, including the near collapse of the health system. At least 185 people have been killed and many more injured.